Welcome back to another sports preview. I'm Andy Hewling, joined by Delaney Barrow, and we're going to get into this week's action as Auburn women's basketball faced off against Missouri last night, and then they also will wrap up the season against Tennessee at home. Tigers looking to kind of end the season on a high note, although it's not been a great year. They're trying to turn around late in the season and coming into the SEC tournament. So Delaney, what did you think of their performance last night?
I think they had a record game. Unique Thompson had another double-double. She's topping charts at Auburn within the record. Daisha Alexander, Robin Benton, Aaron Howard, they all had 20-plus points. I think that they really found their stride last night, and I think if they can carry that on to Sunday, they have a lot of potential to make it far when they go to the SEC tournament the following week.
Obviously, a good performance last night from them will help against Tennessee, who has always had a big-time program in women's basketball. What do you think they need to do to carry this momentum into Sunday's game?
I think it's another home game, their last one of the season, and I think that they can build off of the crowd there, hopefully, and just playing at home. Obviously, they're more comfortable. They're sleeping in their own beds. And I think that they can build off Wednesday's momentum against Missouri, bring that there, and then hopefully carry that through the following week.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting to see as they wrap the season up, head to the SEC tournament in just a few days' time. So now, obviously, women's basketball being the opening, but now softball coming back into play this weekend. They will face a few teams in the Tiger Invitational here in Auburn at Jane B. Moore Field. Obviously, Auburn had a rough go at it last weekend as they went 1-4 at the Mary Nutter Classic. But what do you think Auburn needs to do to kind of bounce back today as they face Georgia Southern and Minnesota?
Well, this is their last set of home games before conference play, and after this weekend they have a 6-game roadblock. So I think that playing at home, they will be looking to straighten out a few last-minute adjustments before the season really picks up. And even though they did have a rough start, there are still quite a few players who have stood out. Alyssa Rivera, she was hitless opening weekend, but she stepped it up, and she's really proven that she earned her spot on that top 100 list at the beginning of the season. And there's a lot of other notable players who I think really, once they just start clicking together, they not only will stand out individually, but also as a team overall.
Yeah, and this will be a good benchmark for them to set as they go into SEC play. It will be a good confidence boost if they can get a few wins this weekend, give them a chance to kind of rebound and get ready for the conference play. Now, Auburn Gymnastics will be here tonight as they face Texas Women's University in their last home meet of the season. The meet will start at 7 p.m. on SEC Network Plus. Obviously, Auburn bounced back against Arkansas this past weekend as they put on a really good performance on the road. And I think this will help them. Obviously, they're getting into 2 big events coming up. They've got Alabama in Birmingham, then they've got the SEC championships. And then a meet like this, kind of a non-conference matchup, a little bit of almost like an exhibition because Auburn's playing a lesser opponent, but they're still going to have to put on a good performance. What do you think they need to do tonight?
Well, like you said, that Arkansas win, I think, was huge for them. Head coach Jeff Grabe has been saying all season that they're going towards the right direction and they're making those moves. But I think last weekend was really when they proved him right. And Cassie Stevens and Andrew Watson will once again be competing in the all-around. The pair ranks in the top 10 regionally. And I think that this is going to be, like you said, an exhibition, but also their chance to really prove that they are heading in the right direction, as Coach Grabe has said.
Yeah, that would be a good test for them. Obviously, Texas Women's University has played Auburn before, and last year's meet was in Texas, and they actually played pretty close, but Auburn won. So the Tigers will have to take them very seriously because it will be a good test for them. Now Auburn baseball will return to action again in Plainsman Park as they continue a 5-game homestand. The Tigers won against Alabama A&M on Tuesday and Wednesday, beating them very handily, but Wednesday's game was a little close as it was 4-4 late in the game, but then Auburn was able to stretch the lead out. They play Wright State this weekend, so it will be another good series for them to get some more wins after losing all 3 of their games last weekend to UCF, which was kind of a shock to Auburn fans because the Tigers were doing so well at the start of the season. What do they need to continue to improve on?
So far, their pitching staff has been really strong this season. They have big names like Tanner Burns, Cody Greenhill, and also even the freshmen are standing out. Trace Bright had a great game. So did Hayden Mullins. He was credited with that last win on Wednesday. And I think that it all starts with the pitching. And so far, especially with Tim Hudson as the assistant pitching coach, they've been doing a great job.
Yeah, Tim has really come in and shown his experience in the big leagues and not just at Auburn, but he's going to be a valuable tool for Auburn going down the stretch. And I think they have a tremendous coaching staff. You've got Gabe Gross, you've got Butch Thompson being the head man, but Tim Hudson also adds that good flair to the pitching staff. I think that can be very, very valuable for the Tigers as they go down the stretch. So the big game this weekend is men's basketball as they face Kentucky in Rupp Arena, a top 25 matchup and big implications on SEC tournament seeds and the conference title share. So obviously Auburn beat Kentucky in the previous game that they played in February. It was a home environment. Obviously, Auburn Arena was a tough place. And I think the big story of that was Ashton Hagans had a really poor performance, and that really hurt the Wildcats. But now they're back at home. They're really rolling right now. They've pulled off a string of games that they've won by double digits, and they look comfortable. And honestly, I feel like they've performed and been more consistent than Auburn right now. So what do you think Auburn's going to have to do to pull off the upset that they haven't had since 1988?
I think that Tuesday when the Tigers played Ole Miss and Isaac Okoro came back on the court, I think that really boosted the team's morale, and he is once again going to have to play a stellar game in order to shut down Hagans, and I think defense is going to be the most important aspect of the matchup on Saturday. So whether that comes from Okoro or Wiley using his size, I think that is going to play a major factor.
For sure. And obviously, you talked about Austin Wiley. He's going to have to go up against Nick Richards again. Richards is one of the best players in the SEC, if not the best, and he's continuing to improve and make his game better. He's going to be a high draft pick in the NBA, and he's showing people right now averaging 19 points a game. That's insane for most guys at his position in the SEC. But Wiley and McLemore have really been good for Auburn's defense. Wiley obviously is a big-time rebounder for the Tigers, and he's been getting double digits in rebounds. I think that's big for the Tigers. What do you think he's going to have to do to stop Richards and stop all the Kentucky guards as they try to crash the bucket?
I think, like you said, rebounds are going to be very important. He's earned quite a few double-doubles this season, so obviously he'll be working towards another one of those, and the rebounds will be key, not only offensively getting those second chance points, but also defensively and just not giving Kentucky the opportunity to make those missed baskets.
Obviously, Auburn's been a little shaky on the road, and there's going to be times probably in this game tomorrow that there's going to be runs made by Kentucky, and Auburn is going to have to really play on their heels because it's going to be fast-paced. What do they have to do to not get down on themselves like they have in other games where they fall behind and then try to come back and can't just seem to get that lead?
Well, they're going to have to play off the crowd, that hostile energy. Hopefully they can just flip it and use it to their advantage. It's definitely going to be very different than playing in the Auburn Arena where everybody's cheering them on, but I think that they can still use that energy and that noise to their advantage.
How big would a win like this mean to the program? Not only have they not won since 1988, but it would mean implications that the Tigers could clinch a top 4 spot in the SEC tournament, which is huge, and maybe be a 1 or 2 seed, and even improve their NCAA tournament resume with another ranked win against Kentucky, and also sweeping them for the season.
Like you said, it would be historical if they did get that win, and it would put them one step closer to making it as far in the tournament as they did last year. And overall, it would just mean so much for Auburn as they continue to try to make their name as a basketball school.
Yeah, for sure. And to get a win like that in Rupp Arena would be monumental because not many people go into Kentucky and get a win like that. And it will be really interesting to watch as Auburn will play at 2:45 on CBS. Very, very big contest in the SEC. So we look forward to it. And that's all from our sports preview. I'm Andy Hewling, joined by Delaney Barrow, and we'll see you next week.